Hey, what's up guys? Today, as you can tell, we are going to be building and reviewing this brand spanking new 501st LEGO Clone Trooper Battle Pack. Listen, this is the first set that I have had sealed in years, literally years. So I am super excited. I can't wait to open this set and build it. But before we do that, let's take a closer look at the outside of this box and then we'll crack into it. Maybe it's because I haven't bought a LEGO set in forever, but this set looks awesome. I mean, super aesthetic. You can see some of the images here. I was walking through the store, walking to check out, and I was like, dang, this is a good looking set. I mean, I really like the black corner here, this new black corner, and you can see the LEGO pieces in there with this yellow line, as well as the blue contrast with the gray from the back and then the green here on the ground. I just really like the overall look of this box. Even the back, I mean, it's a very basic set, so there's not much on here for the set itself, but these figures, showing these off very nicely. Yeah, another thing, it is the Clone Wars 20th edition, so this is going to be on all the LEGO Star Wars sets that come out this year, I believe. Or it might just be Clone Wars sets. Could be all of them, I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, otherwise not much to report. Set number 75345. Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about this though, this antenna right here. So as you can see, this antenna right here on this Clone Trooper is supposed to fit into that hole there on the helmet. You can see it down there again, and then on the back it's very obvious. So this antenna is actually supposed to go in that hole right there on the Clone Trooper helmet, and it is not. We're going to dig into this set in just a second, and we're going to see how it looks when it's in the hole. But my guess is the reason that they did this and that they false advertised what this Clone Trooper is supposed to look like, I'm guessing it's going to look pretty unnatural with that antenna in the hole because it's going to go up so high. Yeah, otherwise, like I said, overall, I really like the design and color scheme of this box. Same size as any other battle pack you would normally get. But yeah, I literally cannot wait, guys. Let's start building.
Ryan Little.
Here it is, and more importantly, here they are. These guys look really awesome. We're going to look at each individually, then we're going to look at the set itself as well as the instructions. Here we go. Up first, we're going to be looking at the Clone Specialist. Like I said, I haven't bought or opened a LEGO set in forever, but I've seen a lot of these little gun extensions for these rifles. And I mean, it looks good. The only thing I will say, if you don't have studs, it does not balance well. You kind of have to tilt the clone back if you want to use this gun. So that's my only thing. I mean, it looks pretty good. Rifle aside, let's look at the character itself. Okay, so also brand new to this set, I believe, are these binoculars. These things look awesome. As you can see here, I've wanted these in Lego for so long. Like these, I always saw these in the Clone Wars series, and I always wanted one for Clone Trooper. Looks super sweet. The only thing I will say about this binocular, this set of binoculars, I wish they had some type of printing right here so it looked like it was actual binoculars. It kind of looks unfinished, honestly, with the all white. Like I wish there was just a strip going across here so it looked more like binoculars. Other than that, character design overall, I mean, these 501st Troopers look sick. I love the blue strip that goes across there. This one comes with blue arms, back, nothing too fancy. This guy does have really good leg printing. All of these characters actually have leg printing and feet printing, which is pretty rare for Clone Troopers. But yeah, I know this guy comes in Battlefront, and a lot of people were complaining that these binoculars don't have the strip there. I've never played Battlefront, and honestly, I really like this Clone Specialist. He looks sweet. Next up, we have the Clone Officer. Now, this guy is a little different than that Clone Specialist. We're going to look at all of them combined closer up in a little bit. But yeah, this is the Clone Officer. So this is the guy on the box where the antenna was pretty much misadvertised. I mean, it was falsely advertised. So on the box, that antenna was about right there. And instead, it's a bit higher. So that's what he looks like. Let's take a look at the box actually really quick. Let me grab that. So here you can see, you'll see it really well on the back. So as you can see, there you go. There's the comparison. Obviously, the antenna doesn't go up nearly as high on the box, and it does go up pretty high here. Looking at them both side to side, it does look pretty unnatural, just like I thought it would. However, when you look at this character just on its own, I will say, I mean, it's a little high, like the antenna looks a little high, but honestly, he doesn't look that too bad. Always with the antennas, I mean, they're pretty flimsy, so like turning it like this, you can kind of see it's unscrewing. It comes out very easily. But overall, I really like this Clone Specialist, aside from this antenna. That's what he looks like without. Put that back in here. But yeah, so this is the Clone Specialist. We'll look at some comparisons, like I said, to the other clones, because they all are unique except for the heavy troopers, but this guy has a blue belt. Yeah, overall, pretty good character. Not my favorite in the set, but pretty good character. Again, this to me, like compared to the box, it does look pretty unnatural, but just as a clone, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, functionality does what it's supposed to do. Not too bad of a character at all. Alright, finally, this set does come with two heavy troopers, both exactly the same, so we're only going to look at one here. As you can see, once again, it does have this leg printing. These are the same legs for the Specialist as well as the other heavy trooper. The only one that's different is that Clone Officer, which we'll look at in just a second. But this guy does come with a gun. I've never seen this in Lego Star Wars, like this kind of gun come in Lego Star Wars. It's come in a lot of other sets. But, I mean, for this heavy trooper, it looks pretty good. Let's take that gun away. Overall, this guy, I really like these heavy troopers. The backpack, first of all, I did not know that this little backpack thing was printed. It looks really good. Both of them have this, and it actually came with an extra one, which is sweet. All of these 501st helmets, I really, really like the design. And honestly, it looks pretty good with this little visor here. It's hard to say. I'd probably not have the visor if this was a regular 501st trooper, but with this heavy trooper, with the printing and the backpack, the visor just makes sense to me. And you can see here, it kind of looks like an airborne trooper body. You can see he has the the clip going across his body there, and it does continue in the back. Let's look at that right now. So here's that back. As you can see, that strap goes all the way around. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the Heavy Trooper. Like I said, this set comes with 2 of them, both identical. Now let's look at all of these characters compared to each other. Here they are all together. We're going to compare them to each other. Looking first at the legs. So as you can see, this clone officer is the only one that has unique legs. It's the same printing, however, they do add this little cape printing. I know a lot of people have been saying they wanted an actual cape. It's really not that noticeable, especially if you have a couple of them, like if you have all these guys together. I don't really see it as a huge deal. I know where they're coming from, though. It is kind of weird that they would print that on instead of add one of those little cape things. But yeah, so these 3 clones have the exact same legs, and then this guy has that little cape printing. Now let's look at them without the guns, actually, so we can take a closer look at their torsos. Here's a closer look now at the torsos. I would say the Specialist and the Officer have the most similar torso. Obviously, these guys are the exact same. But as you can see, they both have that classic 501st stripe on the chest. The only difference is here that this Officer has the blue belt, and then this regular Specialist Trooper does not. So you can see that from the back as well. So he also has that backpack type print also in blue. If you can see that, that's also blue, and then the blue belt back here. Otherwise, yeah, they're all 501st Troopers. They all look really, really good together. Another thing that is different is the heads. So both of these Heavy Troopers on the helmets, I didn't realize this when looking at the box, but they actually have some extra striping on their helmet, if you can see that. And then this regular the Specialist Trooper just has the regular 501st helmet, so you can see there these lines are a bit thicker, and then these are thinner, like that classic 501st look. Okay, so I took all the accessories off, the backpacks and visors on the Heavy Trooper, as well as the antenna and the binoculars on the Specialist and Officer, and here's what they look like with nothing on. So obviously this Specialist looks the most like a generic 501st Trooper, and then this Officer also has the same 501st vibe. I mean, these guys still look like 501st Troopers, but kind of different. Like I said, they kind of got airborne body prints there. But yeah, so I know a lot of people are frustrated or upset about this set because it doesn't come with any generic 501st Troopers, which I can understand. I mean, battle packs are meant to be for army building. Like, that's why people buy battle packs. If you just buy one of this set, I think it's a really, really great set, just buying one of them. Like, this is a great little squad to have. Maybe 1 or 2 of these sets would be awesome. But if you're trying to build an army, it's kind of tough. I mean, if you had these guys all stacked up, I guess they could fit in your 501st army. But they are unique. Like, besides the Heavy Troopers, these guys are all unique. There's 3 completely unique prints, and especially when you add the accessories on, they all look very different. So again, as a squad, like if you're just buying one of these sets, it's great. Like, I'm really glad I bought this set. I think these 501st Troopers look awesome, and I especially love the Specialist Trooper with the binoculars. Like I said, I've been waiting for those for a really long time. So overall, these characters, I think, are great. I mean, if you're not building an army and you're just buying the set, love the characters here. But now let's take a closer look at the set and the instructions. Finally, we're going to look here at the set and instructions. First of all, I don't know if this has changed, but this does not look like the LEGO instructions I am used to. This looks pretty thick for a battle pack, and it's kind of weird. Like, I've never seen a cover like this for a battle pack. They could have changed it a long time ago. Like I said, this is the first LEGO set I've built in a really long time. So that could be why it looks so different. But I thought this was pretty funny. It looks like It definitely looks very Disney. So you build this clone officer, and then you got stars and sparkles around him. I think that's hilarious. Also, this little Lego, this heavy trooper, as you progress in the instructions, he's going to walk all the way across, and then at the end, as you can see, he'll get done. Hooray! Yeah, there's the stars and sparkles again. Yeah, so really weird kind of instructions. Another thing, I remember building old sets, the instructions were like for a size double this set, it was half of this, and you'd have to put like 18 pieces on one page. Like you'd have to put it all, figure out where it went. These instructions are definitely easier to follow, and obviously this is a battle pack. So as you can see, there's like 1 or 2 pieces, just a couple pieces every time. Very simple to follow, very easy to read instructions. Just kind of a weird look. But now let's look at the set itself. I'm not going to lie, I really like the set. Like, this thing's sweet. It's very compact, very durable. I mean, it's like there's no loose parts or anything. Very good build. And there's a lot of unique pieces that I have never seen in Lego. They could be out, I've just never seen them. So, for example, all of these leg connection pieces, I was not expecting it to be connected like this. So it's very smooth. You can move these legs very easily. I thought it was going to be just like this connection where you'd have to crank it. But this is actually a very smooth connection, very smooth build here. As you can see, you can adjust these very easily. Same thing with the turret itself. This thing only moves up and down just a little bit, but I mean, there's really no need for it to do much else. Let's see if I can take this off. Okay, so as you can see, this connection is very similar to the legs. I was very surprised that they had, looks like a bicycle. Clone could ride on that thing. That's sweet. But yeah, so you see they have the little 2 clips right there, and then the turret just sits down. Kind of hard to see that. But the turret just sits down here, connects in, and then same thing as the legs with this. It's very smooth. It's a little creaky, but I think that's just because they're new pieces. But yeah, very smooth design for this set. I mean, it's a battle pack. You can't really ask for too many great builds or like a great vehicle, but this thing is pretty awesome. I mean, I don't really have many complaints about this, and I really like the color scheme as well. It's not 501st looking, but I actually like that. It's very Republic looking. It has the classic gray and then that really cool Lego maroon color. Only complaint with this set, I think they could have done something else with this head here. You see you have some studs showing here. Doesn't look as great as it could have. And also you can see here there's a little space. My cannon part, this thing, I'm not sure if it changes for a set if I don't have something pushed in all the way, but I pushed on this thing very, very hard, and there's still a gap there. Not very noticeable when you have the set off in the distance like this or at an angle, but when you're looking at it from the side, you can definitely tell. Yeah, let's put one of the heavy troopers in and see how that looks. I put the heavy trooper in this cannon, and I mean, he kind of looks out of place. There's nothing for him to grab onto. I do like this connection piece. You can kind of see it there. No studs to attach him to, so he slides in and out of the seat very easily. Yeah, like I said, it would have been cool if they had something for him to hold on to, so it looked like he was actually manning the cannon. But overall, he looks pretty good in there. I mean, the height of this compared to where he's sitting, it looks like a pretty cool, compact cannon. Yeah, I mean, one more thing I will say. This little clear piece here, the set can stand without it. So that's probably how I would have it. And you can actually raise this, and it also looks pretty good. The feet will be pretty sturdy still. Like, that to me looks better than having that clear piece in the back there. Yeah, final play feature, really the only play feature besides this thing moving up and down and the legs, is this cannon. So let's test this out. One last thing before we wrap up this video about the set, which is pretty sweet. They included a lot of these extra pieces. 2 extra visors, 3 extra antennas, again, one of these extra printed backpacks, which is super sweet, and then an extra binocular, which I was really happy about. You can put these on a couple other clones. You can put the binoculars on somebody else. Yeah, an extra cannon as well, an extra gun, and a couple extra miscellaneous pieces. But yeah, let's wrap up this video. Well, that's all I got, guys, for the building and review of this 501st LEGO set, this battle pack. Final thoughts: is this a set I would buy to build an army? Absolutely not. But if you're a LEGO Star Wars fan, especially LEGO Star Wars Clone Wars and these 501st Episode 3 Clone Troopers, I would at least pick up one of these. I mean, this squad looks awesome. And especially if you have the 501st Troopers, those generic ones from the battle pack a couple of years ago, these would look great alongside of those clone troopers, alongside of those generic 501st troopers. So again, I would not buy this to build an army, but just to have, this is a great battle pack, I think. Great overall build on the set, and these characters are super well designed, super detailed, and I really like these binoculars. I cannot get over them. But yeah, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed.